Hey, I'm Preston with Titan Tanks, and today we're installing a 7030213 50-gallon fuel tank in a 2015 Ram 2500 Mega Cab. Now that you got your Titan tank unboxed, you want to check and make sure you got all the parts. We provide a spare 90-degree elbow, a O-ring, a lock ring, 3 tank bushings, your warranty packet and install instructions. In a separate box, there will be a front support with 2 brackets and a hardware kit. And then on your tank, you want to verify both your straps are there, and verify that the elbow on the tank is in good shape. Before you raise and support your vehicle, you're going to want to make sure the fuel tank's empty or near empty. Also, if you do have fuel in it, you can use a siphon or our Titan fuel caddy to remove the fuel. The first step in removing the tank is going to be to loosen the hose clamps off the vent line and fill hose from the fill neck assembly. After that's done, you can pry the vent line and fill neck off with a screwdriver. You just want to be careful not to puncture either of the hoses, or you can reach up there, give each hose a twist and pull, and you'll be able to slide the hoses off. Once that's undone, you're ready to move to the next step. Another way to do this is to remove the fender liner to gain access to the hose clamps on the fill neck and vent line. The next step is we're going to remove the fuel lines from the top of the fuel tank. What we're going to do is you're going to remove the bottommost fuel line from the fuel filter housing, and then remove the other fuel line from the top of the sending unit. Once those two are removed, you can then do your electrical connector, and then you'll be on your way to lowering the tank out of the truck after the straps are undone. Now that you have all the fuel connections and the electrical connector undone at the top of the tank, it's time to support the tank, undo your straps. It's going to be 2 16mm bolts here and here. And once those are undone, you can lower the tank. When you're lowering the tank, you want to take it nice and slow, make sure nothing's getting caught or anything like that. And once that's down, you can remove the tank. A couple items to look out for when dropping the tank. There is a clip here where that needs to be unclipped so your def lines can stay up in the truck and not be pulled down with the tank. The other thing is these rollover valves in the factory tank need to be clipped because we will reuse them on our tank. Once it's clipped, this can also come down. We will tie our tank back into this vent system in the truck. The other thing is on the fuel line, you're going to want to remove this gray clip. It may be green on certain trucks, but that clip needs to be removed and then put back into the fuel line at the top of the truck. This will aid in reassembly when we're going back in with our tank. All right, now that you have your tank removed from the truck and your new Titan tank, the easiest way is just to put these tanks side by side. What you're going to do now is we're going to remove the sending unit. The best way to do it is a pry bar and a hammer, or a chisel and a hammer, something that you can knock the lock ring free, and then you'll transfer it over to the new Titan tank. The other thing what we're going to do is transfer our vent line and our fill hose to the new tank. When we do that, we want to make sure that we clock the fill hose and the vent line in the same orientation that they are on the stock tank. All right, when you remove this lock ring and the sending unit, yours is going to be pretty dirty. You just want to make sure that you clean this area so nothing's falling in, and then clean your sending unit so when you're transferring it to your new tank, no debris is falling into the new tank. So, I mean, you can use a combination. Before transferring the sending unit to the new tank, want to double check the tank for any debris or anything like that, something that may have fell in during shipping. Once you have checked the tank and it's clean and clear of debris or anything like that, we can get ready to move our sending unit to the new tank. A couple of things: you're going to want to use the provided O-ring and the provided lock ring with the factory sending unit. Once you have your fuel sending unit into the new tank, you're going to want to make sure your tab location matches the location that is marked on the Titan tank. After that, you can slip your lock ring over, twist and lock it into place, and then use a hammer and chisel to lock it into the final position. Before we get started, we're going to hang this inner bracket. It'll be a lot easier to do right now. Now that we have the tank in place, we can continue with the front support. On the front support, the two silver bolts and nuts you're going to want to place into the top hole. Certain trucks will use the bottom, certain trucks will use the top. It just depends on fitment. We have them so they're just loose in there, so you can index them into the frame. You'll see that here in a second on how I swing this bracket into place and index the bolts into the frame. All right, now that you got your tank installed, you got the straps up, you're gonna wanna go ahead and double check all your work. Want to check your fuel lines, your electrical connectors, and then make sure the bolts are tight for the straps and front support. Now that you got your tank installed, you're ready to enjoy some long-range freedom. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us, and we're more than willing to help.